Alright boys, we are live. Welcome back again, DJ Live FPL. Thank you for tuning in into another video, but check it. In this video, we're just going to be discussing one thing. We're not going all over the place. Tuna discuss some budget forwards. Mse unatoa so moja, unapata value for your money. Ukitoa so moja uko na doya, nimesemanga before. Uko na doya mkate, uko na maziwa, uko na mayai. Uko na kitu ya mwisho, uko na lighter, uko na something to work with and to light up the gas. Kwani utazipika na nini? Unahitaji lighter at the end of all this, because you need everything to be hot and baking. So I have some budget forwards that I want us to consider for the next few game weeks. Juu kila mtu ako na Haaland, si kila mtu ako na Haaland. Unahitaji substitute teacher ama mse wa kumsaidia hapo kando. I'm also in the midst of changing my center forwards because I currently have Watkins and Jackson, and I'm not 100% happy, but I'm being patient. Napea Watkins chance because unajua acha nikuchapie. Unajua vitu zingine hata stress zingine hata zikuangi worth it. Because look, Watkins is not the worst option. It's not a bad option. It's just that I get at the end of the goals. He has 17 points so far. Compare with other strikers, the ones that we'll be discussing in this video, ni wase wamefikisha 20, close to 25. So 17 for Watkins is not bad. It's just making me impatient. Ni kama na ask for too much from him, but we see all these points that he scored. Easy ma 555 ni from assists. So I still believe he has some goals pending zenye zinakuja. Na sitaki kumuuza until I get those points. Same thing I did the other game week. Nilikuwa patient na Fernandez. Let me just show you real quick. I was patient with Fernandez from game week 1. But guess what? Manu nini. He gave me a 3. Next game week akanipea 1. The following game week akanipea 12. Kama fan wa Manu, sikuhitaji kuambiwa vitu mob. As soon as nilipata hizi points zake, nilidip. Cause siwezi hold on, nimekuwa patient, yes, and as soon as I got those points nilijua tunapatana na Arsenal. Hard game. So yes, Brighton, Burnley, these are good fixtures. I can always come back to the player. It's just that kuna times zingine msee anaweza kukufrustrate na atakutip, itafika point fulani the skill tip and it falls the other way. He gets the points, and as soon as he gets those points, kimbia, and then wacha apate form yake tena urudi. So I think even with my plan with Fernandez, I think I could consider him. Tukishia away to Burnley and Crystal at home, I think I could try that, but not very positive. I think at that point maybe Neza endea Rashi, but I don't know. So in my case, what I was saying is that the same thing is happening with Watkins. At least zake si ma 2 ma 1. Amelinipea 2 venye wali will lose against Liverpool, but it's all understandable. Nashuku nitampea hii fixture ya Crystal Palace, and then after this fixture I'll dip for these 2 fixtures, and then I'll bring in someone else. So in case you are in the same situation as me, in case you're in the same boat as me, here are a few budget forwards that you can add into your squads. Na tuna work from low to high. Ukienda kwa website yote unaweka filter from low price to high. So first off is Morris from Luton. No, so far Luton haven't had the best of luck, but for club imepromotiwa, unahitajingi at least your first Premier League goal as a club ndio iwape confidence. So Luton didn't have a game week 2 fixture, and because they didn't participate in game week 2, inamaanisha wako na double game week in game week 7. So Morris, so far this guy has 15 points from 3 games. From 3 games, I think these are positive numbers, and you can see right here he got 8 points against Brighton. Walichapwa na Chelsea 3-0, and then walichapwa na West Ham 2-1 on the early kickoff on that Friday night. He has a goal so far and an assist, as you can see here. Their first fixture, which was hard, na ilikuwa away, walikuwa kwa Brighton. His XG was at 1.05. That is terribly high, and I think it's no wonder he had a goal. His XG was also as high, and on this other game against West Ham, it was at 0.15. not really bad. At 5.5 million, I think there is room for improvement. Ama points unaweza get from him. They are playing Fulham away and then Wolves at home, then double game week Everton away and then Burnley at home. Personally, I think it makes more sense, ama it's more prudent if you go for him for this double game week here that he'll be having Everton and Burnley. The fixture difficulty rating for these games look a bit even, a bit more positive. I think there is some room to work with that price range. Then one more thing, anacheza 90 minutes. Hizi game tatu amecheza full, which I think that's if you're a manager, I think hiyo ndio kitu unaweza ask from a player. At least get some minutes first, and then we can ask for some other things from you. So with his full game involvement, I think Fulham si game gumu hata kama watakuwa away. Wolves si team unaifunganga ovyo ovyo hata kama watakuwa at home. But I'm essentially maybe looking at this double game week if it's this guy. And then next up is none other than Edward from Crystal Palace. He's currently sitting at 5.5 million. Value for your money. He has 24 points so far. 24 points from 4 games. Not really bad. Out of those 4 games, ameperform 2 games, and then another 2 games ameparticipate. And then I also love that I can see his minutes are been 90, 90, 70, 89. Hizo ni vitu nataka from your striker. They played Wolves at home and he got 2 goals from that game. So I think Edward anaweza kuwa very slept on. Considering the next game is Aston Villa away and then Fulham at home. Those 2 matches are not particularly hard for Crystal Palace. If they can be as solid as they've played hizo games mbili, ama so far how they've played so far, I think it's something that you can get from him. His XG is quite high almost all games. Ni game ya Brentford pekee na alidoz ilikuwa 0.01. Kwani walikuwa wanadinyo ama nini? But I can see the first game the XG was 1.12, and then against Arsenal it was at 0.48. Not very bad, at least it's half of 1. And then ya Brentford ilikuwa mbaya 0.01. And then the game against Wolves, the last fixture, he had a 0.84 in terms of XG. So I think Edward is something that is, I think Edward, bro, acha nikushow kitu moja na umse ni mbaya. Umse ni mbaya na ni umse ama ni Mateta. Actually nitakushuku ni Edward. But the problem was rotation. When akianza kurotatiwa I lose first place, getting a little bit tricky for him. But looking at his stats, it looks like first of all they don't have Zaha. So of course we may have to rebuild their shape, and the guy who's supplying their balls, I think it's Ayu is also doing a good job in his department. So I think this is a really good option to go. Aston Villa away, Fulham at home, and then going away to Man U, then Nottingham at home. I think at 5.5 million he's someone you can rotate from your bench and actually get points from it. Na kama wewe ni mse unataka kucheza matchips zako ama kina bench boost, bench boost particularly, I think these are good options, especially this list. So I think Edward is someone else that you can put into our list. And next after him is Awonyi from Nottingham. So first of all, Awonyi has 25 points compared to Edward's 24 points so far from all the 4 games. But one thing I love about Awonyi from Nottingham is that ako consistent. Would you rather have player may get 19 points at once, alafu akapata 2 points, alafu akapata 4, ama player amepata 7, 7, 7, 8? I think statistically unataka a consistency, unataka a constant, unataka mse uko assured of output, just as we get output as most managers are getting the value for money from Haaland 14.12 M hapo. So I think Awonyi doesn't have very bad fixtures. It's just that they are tricky after game week 4. After game week 4 which game week 4 wanacheza Burnley at home, and then they'll go Man City away, then Brentford at home. So particularly I think I would consider his position for this next game week. But look, hizi games ametoka kucheza na hizi amepata ma 7-6-5 ni games ngumu. Ni Arsenal, chana na Sheffield, na Man U, na kuna Chelsea. Man U team ndogo, yani size S. Acha tusiingie hata story ya Man U. But naona even in the most difficult games he's able to be at the end of an attack of a ball, cause ni alipea nani Elanga assist hii game ya Chelsea. With his involvement, I can see he's been playing. He started the first game alicheza off from the bench 20 minutes, then he's been playing 80-60. Nikicompare na Edward, I'd rather have Awonyi for his consistency. I'd also rather have Edward for playtime. Na Crystal Palace, these are not bad fixtures. The next 2-3 fixtures, see the worst for them. Ukicompare na za Nottingham, wako na kamlima. Wakipatana na Man City, wanapatana na Man City team B, which ni Brentford. And then from there, I think their fixtures get a little bit easier. They have Crystal Palace and then Luton from there. So I think at 6.6M, unaweza pata so much value for your money. And I think said to me sleep on him sana, as most managers, not just me. I think he's really slept on and he's really accurate at the end of the game. Second last, it's Alvarez sitting at 6.7M. And look, Alvarez has 28 points so far. Now, I've been talking about Alvarez from I think game week 2, from game week 2 to be honest, not game week 1. I've been speaking about him from game week 1, from game week 2. I think before game week 2 ianze ndio nilianza kumongelea, and yes, he had a 14 the last game, but before that it was a 2 against Sheffield, 7 Newcastle, alafu 5 Burnley. Unajua anashare points na Haaland, so this is very understandable. But one thing about I think I'm enjoying about Alvarez, first of all, he's getting full minutes. KDB ayuko na anafanya job. Inabidi a turn up, afanye remedial classes, aende tuition, amke morning preps, anafanya hizo vitu zote. And with his expected goals, I think even this game against Sheffield, the one that he actually scored poorly, he had the highest XG. It's at 0.79, which is very very high. His numbers pia ni si straightforward, ni that on this game that he had 2 points, he had an XG of 0.79. Inamaanisha alikuwa na goal involvements mob in this game. And the game against Fulham, where he got 2 goals, where he got 1 goal and an assist, naona XG yake ilikuwa at 0.67. so unakuwa like what. But yeah, I think Alvarez is a good option to play beside Haaland. But in case you don't, you already have, unataka kuwa na Man City goalkeeper ama defender, uko na Haaland, na unataka maybe kuongeza kina Foden or some other guys in between, it could be difficult. But if you just have Haaland and maybe one defense option from Man City, I think you can add Alvarez to your list hapo chini. Bro, wanaenda away to West Ham, alafu acheze home Nottingham. One thing about Nottingham to me realize is that they are up to something. Nottingham with the formation that they're playing, I think hawatapenya ovyo, lakini bro, it's a home game for Man City. Wanakuja kwa butchery ya Man City, na unajua hii ni Bayern. I think Alvarez should be at the end of most of these attacking returns. So if you have space or you're considering to add a second striker, I think he's an easy pick. And the last guy that I want to bring into this table is Jackson. He has 10 points. This is poor. Honestly, hata deserve kukua kwa hii list, but his goal involvement is very high. Sijui mbona hajapata points. Na since hajapata points from experience FPL, unataka kubank on these guys that haven't gotten their lion's share of the food. Yes, ako kwa attacking returns, but hajaget goals, which means atapata hizo bao when you least expect it. He could get a 15-point haul quite easily if Chelsea also maintain a good play style. But look, yes, amepata 10 points. Yes, amekuwa na 1 goal only, but look at his XG. From the first fixture against Liverpool, it was at 0.53, and then against West Ham, wali lose 3-1 against West Ham, he had 0.79, and then against Luton enye akika team kadogo ndiko ulikuja kutrainia bro. Hebu nitajifanyia mambo kwa hii Bournemouth na Aston Villa. Against Luton he had 0.71, and against Nottingham it was at 0.92. 0.92 inamaanisha he was very 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 likely to score. Now one thing about Jackson, yes, actually let's finish this part, is that he has Bournemouth away in game week 5, and then in game week 6 Chelsea have Aston Villa at home, and from there they have Fulham away and then Burnley away. Bro, looking at the next 4 fixtures and sitting at 7.2m, of which ilikuwa 7m, inaka itapanda ama itashuka depending on performance. But since I think I've been saying this a lot, if kama upangi ku-invest in a Chelsea player in future, try them now or forever hold your doors, because fixtures zao zitakuwa ngori. After hii unaona Arsenal zinaanza kuwa ngori game week 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, these fixtures ni ngori. So I think Jackson should be a good prospect for the next game week, especially that they are playing against Bournemouth. From my small research nimeona ni kama wako na good streak against Bournemouth as Chelsea. So I think it should be a game where there should be possibly higher points to be gotten by either team. Now bro, while I've talked about Jackson, usisahau Solanke yes ako Bournemouth, na Bournemouth, if it's a Bournemouth player bro, Solanke is well priced. I will quickly put, wacha niangalia kwanza your head to head ya Chelsea na nini before I forget. Chelsea wakuwa away last season waliwachapa 3-1, ninaka at home waliwachapa 2-0, na wakuwa away tena, okay, tuwak tuna last season. I think these are good stats. Na kwa hii 3-1, was it Solanke? Okay, Solanke didn't do anything, but kama ni mse anaweza fanya vitu kwa hii team ni Solanke for Bournemouth. But I see Chelsea have a good record against Bournemouth, and they'll be away. Yes, wow, the fact that Chelsea wako away na Arsenal wako away inafanya hiyo fixture sikuwa just straightforward, because watu wanaassume hizi teams zingine ni ndogo, but I'll get the fact that wako in Premier League, it means they have quality football. Quality ya Prem huwezi guess, lazima uende training daily, huwezi bahatisha Prem, so usi undermine hizi teams zingine at all costs. So I just wanted to quickly compare Jackson to who? I wanted to compare Jackson to, let me just see. Okay, so these are the stats for this season for these two players. Nataka ku compare to Jackson na Awonyi just on a lighter note, so that you can see what to expect. So they both have the same appearances. Awonyi has 3 goals, Jackson has 1 goal, and Jackson has 3 yellow cards. Bro, hata sikuwa nimeona hii stuff. He has 3 yellow cards, inamaanisha na karibia kufikia 5, na akifikia 5 si unajua venye inakuanga, atapewa suspension. So bro, so far the stats zinasema Awonyi goals per match for Jackson is at 0.25, Awonyi is at 0.75, and the minutes per goal for Jackson is he's getting a goal every 300 minutes. Bro, nini shida ya Chelsea? Nini shida ya Chelsea saa zingine? Acha Nkunku arudi job utakijua. Alafu hii side nyingine Awonyi is getting 83 minutes per goal. But look, this is the important part. Look at the shots. Jackson akona 15 shots. Inamaanisha clinicality ama conversion ya Awonyi is high, sindio, and his accuracy ama his shooting success. I can see the shooting success for Awonyi is at 42.86%, while Jackson is at 6.67. Bruh, that is difficult. That's difficult to swallow. Now, one other thing that, honestly, ukiniuliza between Jackson and Awonyi, bro, just pick Awonyi, but they'll have harder fixtures after game week 5. Nottingham will be facing Man City from there, and then Brentford, which will be a little bit tricky. But something about Jackson yenye imenileta hadi huku ni that tukiangalia, tukifilter by forwards, and then let's go to big chances missed. Acha tuone the big chances missed this season so far from our forwards. Okay, actually acha tutoke all position. Jackson has missed 6 big chances. Watkins anamfuatia hapo tu hapo nyuma. at 4 chances, and then Danjuma. Kwanza boys are aliuza balls mingi. Everton could have easily went in front in that game. The last game that they played, was it Sheffield? I think it was Sheffield. It was an early kickoff. I think he can also be a good player, but so far I can't really bank on him. Na miss kuja hapa ku spread rumors. Kuna boys mwingine hapa nimecheki. Sijui kama eneo. Kuna Nunez. The reason sijaka Nunez hapa ni juu Liverpool wako na Wolves, West Ham, Tottenham, Brighton. Shida ya Nunez si the most consistent player. Anaweza peana 15 leo, apeane 9 kesho, arudi apeane 1. Arudishiwe minutes, afanywe nini. So currently, just based off of experience, just observe. You can take your risks. Kama ni Nunez, mimi ningemkujia hii home game iko na West Ham. Hii home game for Liverpool wakichezea home, niliwashow kwa hii video nimeweka jana. When they're playing at home, they look a bit better in their shape. The game against Wolves is not straightforward, so I wouldn't put him yet in my call list. But look, here's something else that I wanted you guys to see. Chana na big chances missed. Tuangalia nani amechapa Woodwork. Tuko na Almiron on top with 2. Na kuna Nunez hapa. I hope you can see the underlying stats. So these are not bad. But something else that I'd like us to see are the shots. Who's making more shots? Who's hitting more shots? Haaland, of course. He has 20 shots so far. Wow, bruh. I didn't even see. He's the guy that was also in this video. Nimeongelea Edward sahi. He's had almost equal number of shots as Haaland. Okay, shots hazimaanishi ni on target, but inamaanisha msiako ako na attacking threat. Inamaanisha anatupa mguu, inamaanisha ana create chances. Someone has to do it in the team. Naona Jackson anafuatia hapa with 15 shots. Shida Jackson inakaa ni clinicality so far, na I think these are things that can be fixed with time. And look, Alvarez is also on these lists. So if I was to easily choose from this list who I would go, if it's like 3 strikers. If it's 3 strikers ningechukua kwa hii list. Mimi ningechukua Edward first of all for his fixtures and his involvement in terms of minutes that he's getting. After Edward ningeweka Awonyi, and then after Awonyi relax, acha hizi fixtures mbili zipite, but I think Awonyi goes into that list easily. So these are 2, and then the last one that I'd put here is Alvarez. Ningeka Alvarez before niita Jackson ako kwa squad yangu, but all I have to do now is to wish, pray, hope, meditate, do all sorts of things just to wish that things go my way. But yeah, Awonyi, Edward, Alvarez, I say ni value for back for your money. And kuna mse niliongelea kwanza, Morris is getting the full 90 minutes, and he'll have a double game week fixture in game week 7. So I think this is something that I'd put in the back of my mind just for future reference. And I think that's it from me today. Those are the budget strikers that we could look at, that we could actually compare. I think we can just compare 2 more players just to one venye itakuwa. So acha nione Alvarez against Awonyi. How does it look? Okay, Alvarez has 2 goals, Awonyi has 3 goals. Wacha tuone attacking. Shooting success. Yeah, Alvarez is 14%. Awonyi is 42%, really high. Team play, wanataka wacha tuone vitu za team play ni gani wanaongea. Both have 1 assist each. Both have created chances, I can see. Passes, of course, Alvarez wako na possession. Hii ni Man City, atakosaje kupata hizo pass zote? So I think these are things that you can also use to compare and see who should be the best pick for you going forward. I think the last person that I just want to make a small comparison against Alvarez, acha nito Awonyi hapa. Tuka toke Nunez hapa, isikuwe ati DJ akuangalia mse, ati DJ ako biased. Acha niweke Nunez tuone against Alvarez. Nunez, how many let's filter by season 2023-2024. Nunez has 2 goals. Shida yake hizi bao mbili za game moja. Actually si shida yake. This is a good thing. It means he's performing or he's doing whatever his coach is asking of him. Yellow cards, they both have 1 yellow card each. Attacking wise, they all have the same goals per match. Okay, ni 2, so it only makes sense. It's 0.5. Shot accuracy, shooting success, I think wako around the same. Wako the same was up ukiangalia technically. And how much is Nunez? Alvarez is cheap. Alvarez is at 6.7. Nunez ako 7.4. I think it's up to you to decide, but I think if Nunez can get these points again and again, yani sikwe actually alikuwa kwa hizi assists. Hakufunga against Aston Villa, but alikuwa at the end na alikuwa na chances. Actually bro alikuwa na chances. Hata Salah alimpea an outer foot right in front of post, and then Nunez had to decide whether to hit it with the foot or with the head or with his head. I think he got it with the foot, ikachapa hapo post ikatoka. So I think Nunez is also a good pick if you're unlike me. Hauna kama uko na Jackson, I think you can wait for Jackson for this one fixture, and then ungoje Liverpool wacheze Wolves away cause wanaenda stadium ya Wolves. Alafu hii home game wako na West Ham, I think this could be an easy pick to bring Nunez. So that's it for me today. I hope you enjoy the video. Bottom line is take a risk, kuwa willing kuachilia player na kumleta tena. Usinyemelee kwa skati ya player moja. Umeshikilia skati ya Haaland, hata umtoi captaincy, of which nilimtoa captaincy nika regret. But on some of the games it's normal. Huwezi get all the points in every game. Like you can see Haaland, he got 13, 2, 4 and then a 20. So it's just a diverse game. It's not easy. Ingekuwa game rahisi watu wangekuwa wamecheza na wakaboeka. That's why it's a hard game, and people always come back to play the hard games. You always come back to try and beat hard games. So DJ Live FPL, see you guys in the next video. Peace.
BTL drop, Radika Ruka, I gave her Kichoika Ruka, she gave me inside the Uber, Liambaga was sitting on a date, Nikamruka. Put on my dip when I was a Puruka. Come to Mnyambo, I be with my shooter. She is a soldier, she is a trooper. The way that she stay with my stick, then I knew.